In this video, we're finally going to start working on the R53 to get it ready for Mini Takes the States. So we got a project board here. We're going to start writing down what our projects are to get this car ready for that big event. So the main projects that we have for this car, let's call it the MTTS Cooper. First thing we need to do, most important thing, is going to be the brakes. After that, we'll try and tackle the headliner. Get that out of our way so we can actually see out of it. Then we're going to try and get the dent out of the rear quarter panel. See if we can do that with the basketball method. After that, we're going to tackle just general maintenance, oil changes, flushing all the fluids, checking those brakes, putting in new brake fluid, cleaning it out, swapping out some parts that are a little worn out, a new antenna, new license plate mount, things like that. So we're just going to call that one general maintenance. After that, we'll just make sure that everything's looking good, running well, make sure there's no oil leak. Maybe take it up for a tune-up to the dealership, so we'll just get it tuned up, ready to go. And then finally, the last thing we're going to do is going to be a secret project that you can't know about until we get there. So you're going to see that right at the end when we get to Mini Takes the States. We've got to hurry up on this because we only have a little over a month. It's June now, so we got to get this going. So we're going to go ahead and start today's video with the brakes. So let's get into that. Okay, so to get started, we gotta jack up the car first, but we have all these parts thanks to ECS tuning. We've got new hard lines as well. They're actually mini parts. A bunch of stuff to get this car ready to go. Brake fluid, oil, antifreeze, drain oil plug, everything we're gonna need. We're gonna get jacked up, get these hard lines in there, and get the brakes working, because that's the first thing we need to get going. So to jack up the Mini so that you can put jack stands underneath it, what we're gonna do, use a big old piece of wood to put on this pinch weld seam down here, put it just behind the jack stand mount, and that'll help distribute the weight evenly so that we can get the whole side of the car lifted up and then still have access to our jack points. We'll slide those underneath. Okay, so the car is all jacked up, wheels are off, and we're gonna be going after these lines right here. So we're replacing these stainless steel lines with some new ones, and then this is our hard line right here that we're gonna go after. Okay, turns out this is a 15. I'm not sure that is standard, and yes, this is 11. These flare nut wrench sets really help to prevent you from stripping out these bolts. So now it's the long, tedious process of unscrewing this. Now we got to get this hose out of there. We'll wrap it around the caliper here, and we'll do our best to remove it out of the back side of that caliper now. Okay, so we've hit our first roadblock, so to speak. We took off the existing soft lines. As you can see, this type of connection, or a banjo bolt, and the part that I got, not quite exactly a banjo bolt. I'm gonna go order the correct part, but that means we gotta take a pause on this for a little bit. In the meantime, I guess we'll just work on ripping out all those hard lines and seeing if we can figure out where these new hard lines go in place of them. Okay, so we went and ordered those new parts, the exact fit steel braided lines from ECS Tuning, who's been sponsored this video, so thanks to them for that. Those are on order. They're gonna take a few days to get here. So in the meantime, we're gonna remove the hard lines. So we're underneath the car now, and we are going to start with the hard lines that go to the back. Now right up here, you can see that there's a little junction here where we connect the lines that run all the way down the length of the car. A little hard to do while being crammed underneath a little car, but we'll do our best. See what happens. Don't worry, I'm catching it all in a pan underneath. Right, now that we've got those loose, we can go ahead and start to disconnect it from these clips. All all along the body. Oh, that clip's gone. Okay, so we've worked our way back, and now here we are, basically underneath the gas tank. Here is where this hard line ends, right before the rear driver's side wheel. And we need to get this hard line out from, it's hard to get on camera here, out from behind this gas tank. I don't want to drop the tank if I can avoid it. I'll try and give you a visual of where it runs. It comes here, I've removed this a little bit so you can see it better. Runs right there along the tank, pops up behind the tank for whatever reason, comes out right there. So let's see if we can finagle this out of here without having to cut it. Not sure we're gonna be able to, but we'll give it a shot.
So while removing the old hard pipes, I realized it's just not going to be possible at this point to fully remove all these hard pipes and install the new ones without a huge hassle. So I spent the next few days, yes with a D, removing old rusty bolts and hardware holding up the exhaust system, the heat shielding, and the gas tank. Once I got that out of the way, I was able to easily remove the remaining hard pipe, install all the new hard pipes, and put all the stuff back with new, not rusty, hardware to hold it all in place.
Okay, so the brake lines are in. Took quite a bit of effort. We had to drop the tank, drop the exhaust first, get that out of the way, drop the tank out of the way because these hard lines run behind the tank and they snake behind there. And we did the best we could. It's not pretty, so I'm not gonna show you that. But now we're ready to finally put on the new brake lines from ECS Tuning. And they're gonna be ready to go in just a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and bleed these brakes. And then we'll be able to wrap this video up, call brakes done, and then move on to the headliner. But first, let's go ahead, finish putting these calipers on, get these nice new brake lines on from ECS Tuning, and then go ahead and bleed these brakes and see how they look. So now we're gonna try and take these new lines and hook them up to the hard lines that we bent ourselves. Not gonna be perfect, so we're gonna have to kind of finagle them a little bit to get them to lock in to the thread, but let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay, brake lines are on. Now it's time to bleed them. So we gotta pour in some new brake fluid because its system is completely empty, and then start the bleeding process. Okay, so if everything works correctly, we've got the wheels on now. If I spin these wheels and then have somebody press those brakes, these wheels should stop, and they do. So this is gonna be the end of the brake video. Stay tuned, because next we're gonna work on the oil and getting the engine up and running and make sure everything's good there. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already so you don't miss that video. We only have a few days left before we gotta leave for this event, so we gotta scramble to get these things done as quickly as possible. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to wave when you see the minis out there, and I'll see you at Mini Takes the States. Just in here putting the e-brake back together. Got a bunch of cables. Didn't remember exactly where each one goes, but we'll try and figure that out.